Was the mission successful?
Why am I so tall?
The ELEX deposit is secure.
Excellent. Then your job there as scout is done.
I'm ready to be appointed trooper then?
Not quite. There's still one more thing to do. It shouldn't take you long.
Yeah, it does just seem like you can fast-track promotions again like the last game.
Your knowledge of Tavar makes you suitable for the mission. Any questions?
Yeah, what am I doing?
Where exactly am I supposed to meet him?
I'll send his current position to your adjutor.
Yes, of course. I get it. Like, the theme is that I have this GPS map built in, and it's so easy to just give map coordinates instead of saying, you know, look for this landmark and go northwest 30 steps. But it's just so lame that they're just telling you to rely on map markers instead of, like, deducing where to go based on directions now.
Who exactly am I supposed to meet in Tavar?
Vakis. He's an experienced scout. One you'd be well advised to listen to.
Did he say why he needed backup?
That's restricted information.
I'm gonna be working with him. I'm gonna be helping him do whatever he's doing.
Assuming Vakis trusts you, he will brief you on a need-to-know basis once you arrive.
No more questions.
Good. Dismissed.
Well, let's make it quick. Hopefully it's quicker even than this was. He's where? Because you won't tell me? Well, he's just like right outside town. What a lunatic. Be spotted at any moment. Oh god. My jetpack just like sound stopped, so I didn't realize I ran out. There it all goes.
You're here at last. I've been waiting. Azok sent a message to expect reinforcements. That must be you.
Right. He sent me here because I know this place from way back.
Excellent. Then you can assist my mission.
I assume you're trying to infiltrate the Berserkers because you're dressed as one.
Commander Azok said I should wait for someone named Jax. Isn't that you?
Yeah, that's me.
He said it would be your last scouting assignment. Are you here to assist my mission or not?
Why are we tap dancing around this topic?
So, what's this assignment about?
Azok sent you. I assume you can be trusted.
He said that was your place to judge.
Find out about the Berserkers' power. Their mana, to be exact. It has some similarities to ELEX, but is very different. The Berserkers are expanding rapidly. It's vital we know the source of their power.
What exactly do you want to know about mana?
Everything. Albs are experimenting with emotion now. Berserker mana might be the key to our success. My aim is to infiltrate their ranks, disguised as a Berserker. If undetected, I'm to be employed as a cultivator, or an assistant, processing mana.
Have you actually tried getting a job yet?
Yeah, can't get any work out here. I've already tried, and I'm not allowed into the fort. And that's why you're here. I need someone who knows the area, to make sure I get into the fort, and to help me find a job there. The people here are highly emotional. It's difficult for me to interact with them.
I'll see what I can do.
Good. I have an idea
Oh,
how
I skipped the bonus dialogue bit there. I didn't realize I wouldn't get the chance to go back.
Out of range of the gate guards while you go to them. Then you tell them someone's coming to prove he's worthy to be let into the fort. On your signal, I'll then shoot one of the guards from several hundred meters away. It'll prove my efficiency.
That is the shittiest idea I've ever heard.
What? I'm an excellent shot. They'll see. I am the most efficient scout in the depot. We just need to get the Berserkers to see that too. I don't get such a high ELEX ration for nothing.
That explains a lot.
Sounds like you don't think my plan will work.
You could say that.
Well, you're here as an advisor, so how do you think we should proceed?
I think I'd better go to the gate alone and talk to the guards.
Good. I'll keep waiting here for you.
I mean, let's try and be rational here. Like, imagine you're trying to join the Albs and impress the Albs by doing a boneheaded move like that. They're gonna see you as something unpredictable that just killed one of their soldiers. It wouldn't impress them either, so how the hell does it seem like a rational plan to him?
A friend told me you wouldn't let him into the fort.
First off, I don't know this friend of yours. Second, there's a lot of people I turn away from the fort. I don't just let anyone in.
I think I know who he's talking about. There was this sickly-looking guy here that one time, remember?
Oh yeah, that guy. We thought he looked like a chem addict. We don't want that shit around here. That guy's a friend of yours? You wanna vouch for him? Tell me. He's not gonna be any trouble, is he?
Just let him in. He's harmless. And if he does get into trouble, just kick him out again.
You got a point. Let's let Stryker take a look at him. Nothing gets past him. Right, Stryker?
Huh? What am I doing? I wasn't paying attention.
That was the wrong emphasis, as usual.
This guy's always on the ball. You know what? I think I'm gonna reconsider letting that friend of yours in. Bring him over here first. I want to get a look at him.
Okay, I'll get him.
So nice corrugated iron just sticking through the wall there. I feel like we're... Oh god. I feel like we've reached a point in video game environmental design that kind of shittiness in environmental clipping is no longer acceptable. Otis, why are you freaking out, man? What's this thing doing? Oh god, what am I stuck on? Just roots?
Come with me. Gardar the gate guard wants to talk.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while, Vanna.
You convinced them. Excellent. Let's not waste any time. Go ahead, I'll follow you.
Can we just teleport, please?
There you are. Give me a sec. I want to talk to my friend here. You. Yeah, you. Come here. Where are you from?
I'm here because I need protection.
Yeah, I see that, but what's after you that you need protection?
I need protection from the Albs. Yeah, the Albs are hunting me.
I see.
Let him in, Gardar. He can't be all that bad if the Albs are after him.
Well, how about you try and get more details out of him?
You're not just another chem addict coming around, huh? You do know the outlaws haven't been around here in years, yeah? You're not getting any chems here.
Yeah, I know. You're the Berserkers. You're the primitive, superstitious...
What did you just call us?
Don't let him rile you, Gardar. He's obviously a nutcase. Just listen to how he talks. Don't be so hard on him.
So you want a
I wasn't
nutcase?
looking to insult you, gentlemen.
Okay, let it drop. You're a weirdo, but you're not the only one in this place. And you look like you're harmless, so... Okay, you can come in. But I'm warning you. Cause any trouble and you're out on your ass. Got it?
I'd already assumed that I'd be executed if I made any mistakes. I agree to the terms.
Okay. Come on in.
They're not the brightest bulbs in the closet, are they?
I think a thank you is in order at this point. I will need more time to get used to the communication that passes for normal around here.
I guess so.
We've completed phase 1 of the mission. Next, I need a job. We should track down the commander responsible for the work allocation.
Fenris is in charge here. You should ask him for a job.
Negative. You will do that. Remember that until I'm satisfied, I won't report your task as completed to Azok. So, get me a job that entails significant contact with Mana, ASAP.
Like how his mouth didn't actually enunciate the P, it just closed. Otherwise, the lip sync is usually pretty good in this game. One thing I did want to check, because I keep forgetting, is that after we tipped off Ivan and he snuck out of the grotto, he and his wife actually did make it back here. Alright, back to where they started.
Hey, it's good to see you. My escape from the grotto was an adventure, I can tell you. Think you would have enjoyed it. But I had some good company, so I can't complain.
Glad to see you again, too.
I want to introduce you to someone. Just a second.
Oh, you actually do have a child.
Don't be shy. You remember, right? I told you all about him. Just say hi, Tamara. He's our friend. Tamara, please.
And off she goes. Well, you lost her.
Sorry, Jax. My daughter can be a little on the obstinate side. She doesn't get out much, unfortunately. The resistors couldn't find out about her, so we kept her hidden in our house. She'll get used to the big wide world soon enough.
I was gonna say, that's the only child I heard of being with the Morcons.
Ask away.
Where'd you get the goods from?
I have Chloe to thank for that, strangely enough. Doing all sorts to help us keep afloat. A lot of what I'm selling is stuff she suggested. Wouldn't get that help in the grotto, that's for damn sure. Not in a Morcon's nature. But that little episode's in the past now, where it belongs. My family's safe. That's all that matters at the end of the day.
Glad you all made it here safely.
Hey, anyone tries to lay a finger on my family, they can kiss goodbye to their arm. Anyway, we can't complain. Pretty well set up here.
If you need anything, I'd be happy to help.
I know, and we're so grateful. But hopefully, we can manage on our own now. Listen, if you don't mind a few words of wisdom from this fool, don't do what I did. Don't gamble with the lives of your loved ones. Nothing is more important. I took far too long to realize that.
Well, as long as you learned. And nothing terrible happened before you had the opportunity to learn. You having a little trouble there, buddy? I'm gonna guess. Oh, hang on.
You really think so?
Some out of place in modern art there. So I would say probably the best thing is to make him the... can't really be the alchemist apprentice because he's already got one. I guess the cultivator's the only real place for him.
A friend of mine is looking for work.
More than enough of that around here. What skills does he have?
He's good at the rough jobs.
Ah, a warrior then.
It's not what I meant.
What sort of job is he looking for?
He wanted to become a cultivator, but he was turned down.
If Thorhild didn't think he was suitable, there's nothing I can do. Could he imagine doing something else?
That's suspicious. You probably wouldn't trust us if we said that.
Something involving mana.
That is not going to happen. Only our best healers are allowed to work with mana. He'll have to settle for a more basic job until he proves himself. I see where this is headed. I don't have use for him, I'm afraid. You could ask Tylus, Lass, or Chloe. Maybe he can clean, something like that.
I don't think he'd be happy mopping up spilled beer.
That is not my problem. Everyone starts at the bottom here. Just talk to those three. There's nothing else I can do for you.
Well, Tyler's already has an apprentice, one who's permanently stuck outside his door now. Don't think that's gonna work out. Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
I'm looking for work for a friend of mine.
Is your friend well versed in the arts of alchemy and phytology?
Not that I know of.
Then stop bothering me.
He could be your cleaner. I'm sure he'd be good at that.
I've avoided hiring anyone to help around the house so far. I hate having anyone change the way I arrange things. You see, there's a system. Everything here has its place. I don't want anyone who thinks for themselves. I need someone who does what I tell them. And more to the point, does things exactly how I tell them. Does your friend fit the bill?
He's extremely good at following orders.
That does sound promising. How much do you think I should give him for cleaning up here?
I'm pretty sure he'll work for free.
Goodness, that's a work ethic I can appreciate. Bring him to me. He can start immediately.
Not sure why that increased destruction. I should get him what he wants.
I did it. You have a job with the healer, Tylus.
Good. I'll make myself useful there. The Berserkers will soon realize that my chemical arts are far more sophisticated than their magic. I'll talk to Tylus about his methods and tell him what to do differently to boost efficiency. What will my duties be? Carrying out botanical studies? Directing mana experiments?
Cleaning.
What?
He hired you as a cleaner. Take it or leave it.
That is a waste of my considerable skills. Oh, whatever. Do you have any advice before I go to him?
Do as he says, and don't talk back.
I'll bear that in mind. Understood. I will send word to Azok that you completed your task. To confirm, he's gonna make you a trooper when you've completed this assignment?
I think so.
In that case, you shouldn't waste any time. Report back to Azok. I can manage from here. Thanks for your help.
Alright, let's do that. Hopefully that lets us join the Clerics and just have that in our back pocket for what it's worth. I don't know if that changes the advancement through the Albs, though. What the hell are all these dudes?
Jax will return to the depot and report to ELEX or Azok.
I'm right here. Were they supposed to be there, or were they supposed to be back at the house?
I finished helping Vakis. Am I ready to be made a trooper now?
I've already received word that Vakis was satisfied with your work, even though he considers his new job unsatisfying. But you carried out all the tasks you were assigned. So, yes, you're ready to be promoted to trooper, if that's what you want.
Show is.
I'm ready. Make me a trooper.
So it has a level requirement,
So
which is
be it.
interesting.
Prove yourself as a trooper, and maybe I'll restore you to commander. The rank of trooper is not without its own privileges. You now have access to Class 2 goods, including a new set of armor.
Ow!
Our skill at the Computing and Research Center to see what you can purchase now. Besides that, I suppose you have questions about your new rank.
What are my duties as a trooper?
I will explain after I have briefed you on recent developments. The silo attack highlighted the unacceptably poor state of our intelligence network. I have therefore dispatched all available combat squads to the borders. They are to form an early warning system and close up any gaps in our defense.
And what's my role in all this?
We still have no reports from the Caracas border. The scouts I sent there were all equipped with a tracker. The few signals we can pick up are barely recognizable. Half the unit is dead, the other half missing. I want to know what has happened. Bring me those scouts.
What's the situation here?
These new enemies are putting considerable pressure on us. Keeping them in check ties up resources and creates gaps in our organizational structure. Bridging those gaps will be your responsibility.
About the missing scouts.
Status?
Get me their final coordinates.
Of course. I'll sync the data with your agitator. Your destination is an old factory site in the southeast. Be sure to upgrade your weapons. You should be prepared for any eventuality.
I think one of the more sensible things the Albs would have done, like obviously they have all this new up-to-date technology, but having the pre-built infrastructure that just needs some renovations that are all around here, you would think that would be more worth their while than building a whole new structure here. Like this whole new compound with all new constructions where they could have gone, you know, this facility here probably had some machinery that was good as like a refinery. Up here was a good place for manufacturing like weapons and machines. Chemical plant would have done a lot of good for them. And obviously it would need some freshening up because they're all in ruins, but it's something. Where's this guy again?
There you are. I've been expecting you. Your purchase authorization has been increased. You can now purchase Class 2 goods. Just ask when you want to see the stock.
Okay, gross helmet. None of this is as good as my basic armor. I guess it had to be that way because you don't join a faction. You can't be locked out of better armor, but it's just kind of silly that this leather jacket is superior to anything that the Albs equip their rank-and-file soldiers with. Alright. We'll sideline that. I want to see that I can join the Clerics. And then, for the third time, we'll push the story into Chapter 2. I don't think I needed to reload after the last time. But it's hard to tell, so second guessing it. I'm confused. Let's look again. Okay, so I have to start this quest. Alright then. Because this gets me something I need to impress Reinhold or somebody here. I realize there's a lot of criticisms that I'm making of like getting lost and not remembering things. Things seeming unclear. And a lot of that is the fact that I only play this game a couple times a week and I'm not really doing things in a consistent way. So it's hard to say how much is their fault for bad design and how much is my fault for failing to remember. I don't know, like, this whole bit if Reinhold was very specific about saying, get us a very specific thing.
Spread out and take anything that's not nailed down. I don't want to see a pile of fucking scrap metal, you hear? Hey, you! We're here first, so fuck off! Find your own place to scavenge.
I think the words fuck off are like 50% of the outlaw vocabulary.
If I were you, I'd choose your next words very carefully.
Cut the fucking alpha male show of dominance bullshit. Back of the line, buddy, and don't count on there being much left when we're done with it.
You're not touching anything else until I know what's going on here.
Man, that's amazing you can even breathe without someone giving you instructions. Okay, so we found this merry band of brothers in a decidedly post-alive state. And now we're cleaning out their pockets. That's the deal. And it's not like we're finding a whole lot. That cleric had some piece of paper in his pocket, but that's it.
Give it here.
I'm keeping it, in case I ever run out of paper. But you want it so badly, I'll sell it to you.
I mean, you know what option I have instead. Doubly. That don't do much. Really? Stop sidestepping, you bitch. Ow. No grenades! Oh wow, I'm stealing ELEX from their faces. They call these clerics. Are they clerics? They look like Albs.
Nope, nothing here.
Okay, so the ELEX isn't something that goes in my inventory. It restores my ELEX bar. Intriguing. This says specifically go to Hagen, but that might just be an alternative quest. Or... wait a minute, I'm so confused. Oh, a few dead Albs and a cleric. Okay. For some reason, all their corpses were labeled cleric, and that must have been an accident. So, a cleric ran afoul of the Albs. And this kind of seems to have fractured into two different quests.
I have something here that belongs to you.
It doesn't surprise me that details of this venture leaked out. Orders were obeyed with little thought or enthusiasm. Let me explain to you what happened.
I didn't even read it.
The player in this effort was the Alb commander you sent me. She's proven herself a force to be reckoned with, one I could no longer do without. But a solution to our manpower problems has presented itself. The Albs. In contrast to what passes for a recruit around here, they're disciplined, well-trained, and versatile. Consequently, we now keep a lookout for them on our borders and accept them into our ranks.
How do you deal with the fact that they still do ELEX?
That doesn't explain the dead bodies.
I don't think you fully understand. The Albs are only here because they want to be. Maybe it's better if you heard from them directly. One of my acolytes is giving them the guided tour. You'll find them in either the canteen or the production hall. When you've had a chance to say hello, come back to me. I promise, all your questions will be resolved. After that, I have a proposal for you, but more on that later.
Okay. So, oh boy. My assumption now is that the Albs that died were not willing to let the other ones go. So they're at the canteen, I think? Yes, they are.
You can pick up your chow, or whatever you call it, in the canteen. It's right over here. We'll get to where you'll be working in a minute. Any questions so far?
Who's responsible for the ELEX supply?
Didn't anyone tell you? We use it exclusively for the machines. Human consumption is strictly prohibited. Don't worry, you'll get used to it. Anything else?
No.
In that case, I'll take you to the production hall.
Well, hang on. We were told to ask questions.
You? Here?
I don't know who you are.
So Azok wasn't wrong. Shit.
What are you doing here?
Have you seen Judicator Hagen? I don't want to make a mistake. Talk to him first, then we can talk.
Already done.
Let me explain the situation to you then. You must have figured out by now that we've defected. I don't expect you to condone what we did, our treachery, but I need to explain why we did it. Given your past, I even hope that you can maybe understand, at least in part.
All right. But don't leave out any details. Azok's waiting for my report.
The whole thing went like this. We were supposed to patrol the southern border. It should have been a straightforward mission, but it was doomed to failure from the outset.
What was the problem?
We were divided. Some of us questioned the order, questioned its efficiency. I mean, nothing we Albs do is a step forward. We create nothing. We leave devastation. We destroy habitats and pat ourselves on the back afterwards as if it's a victory. But the Clerics have a vision in which all life has a place.
That's how I see it, too.
After you submitted to the directive again? Well, that's not what I expected. In that case, maybe you'll understand my next move. I transmitted our route and coordinates to the castle in advance.
You were trying to provoke a confrontation?
No, I just wanted to pique their interest, and it worked. But when we got there, nothing went like we'd planned. I was convinced I could persuade everyone over to our side, that they'd see the truth of it.
That was a mistake, as it turned out.
Yeah, we ended up pointing our guns at each other. The Clerics had overheard everything and were forced to intervene.
What? So you killed your own people?
What the hell were we supposed to do? If they'd taken us back to the depot, we would have been executed. It was us or them. We have the right to a future worth living in, don't we?
I get you. Azok, on the other hand, will not.
We thought by disabling our trackers, he would consider us lost. Another mistake. Of course, I can't stop you from telling him the truth. That decision is entirely up to you. But talk to Hagen again first.
When did you realize you were going to defect?
I've had doubts about the Albs' goals for quite some time. With enough ELEX, I could always silence them, but as the stuff got scarcer and scarcer, I had to admit the truth. I can't just blindly follow logic. Morality is increasingly important in my decisions.
Makes sense. And in essence, that's kind of how Look, I played Jackson the first game, so I can rationalize with it.
I take it you've spoken to the Albs?
I have. Now, what were you saying about a proposal?
Eager to get started, I see. That's exactly the kind of determination I need right now. We have a single troop of Albs, but it alone is not nearly enough.
Not really a troop, it's just 3 of them.
We need to increase our manpower, or we might as well give up trying to defend ourselves, because we're as good as dead. If the last deployment taught us one thing, it's that there's little benefit in sending out soldiers if they're likely to be killed. I need someone who knows how to handle themselves and others in combat situations. I need you.
Okay, I'm in. What do you need from me?
That fierce determination again. Just remember, it's not only your thirst for action that's important, it's being responsible for the consequences of that action. But those I'll explain later. This is what I'm thinking. Albs will always replace a defunct troop with a new one. As one of their troops has defected to us, a replacement should be on its way. As we've seen, it only takes a few persuasive arguments for a group of Albs to reconsider their way of thinking. And if those arguments came from someone within their own ranks, the chances of success are high. Of course, for you this would be something of a risky endeavor, but your efforts would be rewarded. If you make sure that the 2nd troop finds its way here, I will grant you the rank of Regent on an honorary basis.
You want me to take all the risk?
Succeed, and no one will be any the wiser. Fail, and you'll likely have to give up on your ambitions to become one of their commanders.
Okay. When should I set out?
I've transferred the coordinates to your adjutor. Get there as soon as you can. If our calculations are correct, this is where their reinforcements will arrive. Track down the troop, convince them to change sides, and make sure they find their way here. Okay? Now get it done.
Let's do it. So, I assume we're going to give some bogus excuse to Azok on what we found. Or we tell them the truth and they find some way to fuck over the clerics. Be gone. Be gone as well. Let's see how convincing I am.
And shoot. Don't bother with questions. These people don't know anything of interest. Any comments? If not, check your gear and prepare for departure.
You're making this too easy on yourself.
Excuse me?
Cooperation is more effective.
Don't forget who's in charge here. I don't tolerate disloyalty.
I feel like I'm gonna have to kill someone.
Making new enemies where there shouldn't be any.
I work with tactics that are actually worth something. This area has been cleansed.
We're both scouts. We should leave the decision to a trooper.
As you wish, even if the result will stay the same.
Well, how convenient.
Did you hear what that was about? If you did, I'm sure you'll agree with me.
Give me an outline of the situation.
I am in command of this unit. I've decided to eliminate any obstacle that crosses our path. I won't repeat the mistake of our predecessors. Confrontations will be nipped in the bud. Any objection to my decision is irrelevant. The directive clearly states that efficiency must define our actions. So, should we eliminate the people or not?
Murdering innocent people has nothing to do with efficiency.
Our mission is to protect the border, not to determine who is and isn't guilty. The depot will be very interested in your interpretation of our regulations. But before we head back there, tell me something. What brought you to us?
You've got a new order. From now on, you're to cooperate with the Clerics.
Who issued this?
What does it matter? An order's an order.
This is high treason. You are hereby under arrest.
I mean, trying to deceive them seems like a dangerous prospect, even though I'm capable of it. Whatever.
Azok himself has tasked me with optimizing the processes at the border. So you better do as I say.
Why didn't you say so? Then we could have kept our conversation to a minimum.
Enough talk. Leave for the castle at once.
As you command. But let the clerics know that we're on our way. I don't want any surprises.
I will. See you there.
This is very confusing. Doesn't really make sense.
We're going to the castle. Form 2 groups. I'll take point. Move out!
I'm just so frequently baffled by how they justify things. Like, the writing just doesn't seem to have any sensible themes. I don't know how to say what I'm thinking. Oh, they're blasting something. Also, I got the ability that makes lockpicks unbreakable for what it's worth. I've never run out, so who cares? But at least now, I don't have to worry.
About the Albs. Mission accomplished. They'll work for you.
The next time someone starts telling me how we're doomed, I'm sending them to you. How did you manage it? Was there any resistance?
Minimal. I was able to convince everyone in the end.
Well, these guys would have to keep up the ruse that
I'm impressed.
recruited them with, which would be impossible.
Find something for them to do as quickly as possible. They're going to need time to get used to life here. It's better if they're distracted.
Don't worry. There's plenty of work to be done around here, and I'll keep an eye on them. This should be their new home after all. We don't want them to turn tail and run again at the first opportunity. I hope you know that you've proven yourself indispensable to our cause. I've therefore decided to promote you to Regent without delay. You've proven there is a force that can control the chaos. It's alright if you're unsure. Take a night to sleep on it before deciding. My offer stands.
Let's just make a precaution here.
I'm ready. Make me a regent.
With pleasure. From today, you are one of us. And your rank should be recognizable by everyone. You will have the right to acquire the last available armor. I haven't forgotten you were interested after all.
God damn, the noise.
Storehouse. He'll give you your armor upon receiving the equivalent value. But don't forget that you need to remain under the radar. The Albs should continue to believe that you serve them.
Could be difficult if I'm running around in your clothes.
Given your status, I doubt they'll give your armor a second glance. But if they do, just tell them you looted it from one of ours.
I will. Thanks.
Hey, I had a feeling that they were going to make an excuse for that.
I ask of you now,
I'm kind of surprised that they bothered.
To anyone who needs it. Your willingness to help will lead those people to us sooner or later. Please don't disappoint me.
I mean, so the clerics in the first game were not really sympathetic. They were big into brainwashing, you know, the whole suggesters thing. And they weren't really, I wouldn't say they were ruthless, because they weren't just killing or exiling people the way the outlaws and berserkers did, but, you know, they were brainwashing them. So everyone kind of had their own nasty way of dealing with dissent. But in this case, it seems like the clerics are much more, like, open-minded. Or not necessarily open-minded, but they don't...
Well, that was certainly...
They don't, crack down on that sort of thing and let people have their kind of own freedom of thought. Just as long as they're working towards the community. So far, they seem like the most approachable group.
Ah, you're back. Want some new equipment? Grab it now, because if this keeps up, I'm gonna have to shut this place down. No pressure.
Why would you do that?
Haven't you seen our new arrivals running around? They're looking like royalty. Say what you want about the Albs, but when it comes to armor, no one outdoes them. So, kid, do I have to ask you again? Or are you gonna hand over some shards?
That's my plan. Give me the Regent armor.
Did Hagen say it was okay?
He did. So?
In that case, you can buy it. But it's not cheap. If you're hoping for a discount, you'll be disappointed. With this baby, it doesn't matter how much tinsel's on your chest. No sales, no haggling. But the ELEX benefits the community, so...
You up for a trade?
Sure.
Alright, tell me more. Plus 24 for 30,000, I can afford it. Alright, good stuff. Alright. I'm a spaceman. You know, it's impractical because there's so many, like, arbitrary segments to it. But as far as sci-fi armor goes, I'm into it. Also, I keep forgetting I have a gold bar from Hank to sell to this lady.
What do you make of this?
Let me see it. Give it to me.
No.
Who gave you this piece of crap?
It's junk, ain't
I
it?
was told you'd take it off my hands.
What am I supposed to do with
Fool's
some
gold,
worthless
ain't it?
scrap metal?
Worthless. It's gold.
Oh yeah? Take a closer look. It's iron with gold coloring. And I'm not even sure it's real iron. Someone ripped you off.
Big surprise there.
I better go back to the fort, sort this all out.
Who was it? I mean, they seem to know me, right?
Said his name was Hank.
Doesn't ring any bells. But who'd use their real name in this line of work, huh? Whoever it was, they thought I'd be fooled by this. Didn't realize I'm not a simple merchant. I have experience in dealing in stuff like this. Hey, maybe if you hurry, you can catch them before they get away.
Well, he hasn't really been in a hurry to get out of there. Probably assumed that I could get away with this, and therefore he wouldn't need to answer for it. Oh, and I suppose I should wrap up Azok's side of this quest.
No trace of Hank.
What are these idiots
Maybe
doing?
one of the healers knows something.
You must be my new cleaner, yes?
Yes, that's right. Although I think it's a waste that...
I don't give a damn what you think. I don't need anyone to think. You understand? Quiet! There are some rules you need to know. What I expect from you is that I can always find everything in exactly the place where I left it. No cleaning up on your own, all right?
Of course.
Good. I also expect you to keep the floor and my working materials dust-free. Got it? If you have to lift any of my things to do that, I expect you to clean every single item and put it back exactly where it was before. Every sunrise, I expect to find everything exactly as I left it, only cleaner. No matter how late into the night you have to work. Get the picture?
Out and clear.
Good. Then grab a broom and get to work.
You know where Hank is?
Your pet? It had better not be anywhere around here. If that beast contaminates any of my vials or tinctures, you'll be responsible.
I mean Hank the traitor.
Hank the traitor? I'm certain I have no idea what you're talking about.
You have to know him.
Laddie, if I told you I found the Philosopher's Stone and now have the ability to create gold, would you believe me? If such a fellow exists...
What's that got to do with
he's
anything?
Nowhere around here. Anyway, someone like that, you're more likely to find him with Baxter's people than with us.
Yeah, it's probably where I could have found him. So this guy is just completely bugged and Tyler won't talk to him. So he's stuck there forever and ever. Alright, we'll do that another time. Ain't important right now. Let's sort out this biznatch. I'm curious if they will in fact question my cleric armor. So that would be very suspicious to show up with this so soon afterwards.
About the missing scouts.
Status?
I found them.
Then why aren't they standing in front of me?
They're dead. Their trackers malfunctioned.
Malfunctions in the program routine are unusual. I'll have our technicians look into it.
You're not bothered about losing our people?
With their demise, they have lost their usefulness. Thinking of them further is a waste of time. We should focus on making sure this does not happen again. In your absence, I dispatched a second unit to the borderlands. I want you to go and check on them. Intervene if there's a problem, and send them back to the depot.
I think that's the group I already sent to the castle.
Already. We don't need to compound the problem.
No need. I've met them before.
So, Anything?
She won't return either.
Trooper, this is unacceptable. 1 unit lost means nothing, but I will not accept the loss of a second in so short a time. Your mission has yielded nothing. Your efficiency leaves much to be desired.
Why are you trying to blame me?
I am evaluating the result, nothing more. That result is not satisfactory. I don't know the exact circumstances, so I've decided...
And you aren't even asking for them.
But know this, I will personally oppose your reinstatement to the rank of Commander. That is all. Dismissed.
Alright, so it does cancel promotion in the Albs by joining the Clerics. But getting promoted in the Albs, I don't think gets us anything more than... well, probably their armor. So it's not any significant changes. I wonder if the plot's going to be any different as it goes on. Because that's what I'm more interested in. Okay. So that's all good and done. Which means, I guess I can finally get the plot moving somewhere. I've backpedaled on that twice already. This is such a weird way to play this game, and... like, normally I would just commit to my mistakes, but I kind of, at some point, just decided that this is what I was going to do. And when I broke it, kind of left me reeling, and I had to, you know, break sequence just to go back and fix it. Now we gotta mash through all this again.
Warlord Thialk has joined us. He'll coordinate all our fighters from now on.
Excellent, but are you certain we can trust him?
I wouldn't have brought him here if I thought he was going to stab us in the back.
Very well. Keep it up. I hope you realize that the longer you wait to join a faction, the harder it will be. And you'll be a better fighter with the training and equipment they can provide.
I know. You don't have to keep telling me, old man.
Excellent. The Bastion is really coming together now. But we still have further preparations to make if we're going to stop those invaders from taking over the world.
Huh. I've heard you say something similar before. In the Ice Palace.
Another barely contextual flashback, I assume. There's nothing there. The flashback was nothing.
The hybrid is still in you.
Paranoia will get you nowhere, Jax. Better to concentrate on the here and now. We've laid the foundations, but there's still much to do. There will be more people joining us soon. The Sixth Power will be a refuge and home to them all. You've done well, Jax. I never once doubted you.
About the military forces of the other factions. The Berserker fort now has a better military structure than when it was under outlaw control.
Quite. The plan to unite the outlaw and Berserker factions in the fort seems to have been successful.
Patriarch Victor seems to be the actual head of the Morcons. He's a volatile one. We'll have to watch out.
I don't think I ever met that guy.
Good to
Maybe
know.
I just heard about him and
But
forgot.
if we're being honest, that probably applies to all Morcons.
The Albs have an enormous supply of ELEX stored in their depot. That's where they get their
Not
power.
anymore.
Well,
Half of it
that
got blown
explains
up.
why Ignadon is suddenly covered in a blanket of snow.
Alexander Ekrom does a good job of leading the Albs. He's smart, and gives them tremendous stability. For now, at least.
Yes. Intellect was never the Albs' biggest problem, but they have plenty of other things to contend with.
The Outlaws have settled in the garbage-filled crater of the comet. There still aren't many of them, but things won't stay that way for long.
Smart move. Stay in the background for the time being, gather strength. Doesn't help us much at the moment, though.
The Duke of Ateris could be dangerous. He's nothing but a criminal. A very successful one.
Better keep an eye on him then. We can't afford any surprises.
Isn't that enough?
Yes.
Blanc.
We have enough information about the other factions now. Good work. Give me some time to analyze everything, and we'll be able to move on to the next step. We've completed the first stage.
Not sure
The sixth power has taken its
what just happened there. I failed a quest.
Now the real work begins. I'm impressed, Jax. I knew you could do this, but I'm still surprised by how efficient you've been.
That's the reason you, I mean the hybrid, always sent me on the toughest missions, isn't it?
Indeed. And even after all these years, you haven't lost any of your skills. Just as well, we're really going to need them.
I'd like to know what quest I just canceled.
I've still got a long way to go. So many difficult situations and demanding people. They all seem to want to determine my fate. And my family's. But I've got decent weapons again, and I'm ready to face the next obstacle. The sixth power is now in action, and soon we'll be a serious contender in the battle for Magalon. And I'm part of it, whether I want to be or not. Not much is certain yet, but the coming days will reveal more about my special role in the war against the invaders. Meanwhile, the Skyans will be expanding the regions covered in their alien flora. Before long, we'll be in a world we don't recognize, full of creatures that'll change or destroy us. My infection. The dark ELEX is starting to take over. I'm already feeling the first effects of the disease. I need to get some healing soon, or I won't get the chance to fight my first real battles.
We need to talk about that infection of yours. I've made some startling discoveries about the Dark ELEX. And I'm certain now that, left untreated, the infection will eventually transform you into a Skyanid creature.
That doesn't really help.
Well, we could pump you full of painkillers, but I don't think that's a good idea. One moment of inattention and the infection could overwhelm you. Better not take that risk.
Great.
I've developed a method of extracting specific DNA fragments from infected subjects. So I'm going to need as many different subjects as possible to continue with my research. That's where we should concentrate our efforts next.
What about me? I'm infected. Will my DNA fragments help?
I need samples from subjects that have already mutated. But they can't be from just any Skyanid. I'm going to need exceptionally thermoactive specimens. You'll have to hunt them down and use the method I've devised to extract those DNA fragments from them.
Any activity on the Skyan invasion front?
Things are still relatively quiet. They must be preparing for a major assault. But I'm more concerned about the Morkons at the moment.
Fuck, I'd almost forgotten about them.
They're unpredictable and represent a huge risk in our war against the Skyans. Especially Patriarch Victor. You should speak to him. Try to reach some form of agreement. Nothing would be worse than him attacking us when we least expect it.
So what else have you got for me?
I've received reports from our neighbors to the northwest. It seems the Clerics have lost control of some of their own troops.
What the hell is this? Oh. The robots are messing up. Oh, someone hacked them. Why were they just out here? They're just leaving robots out in, like, the wilderness?
Their headquarters are about to be attacked by a group of malfunctioning robots. You should stop them before they reduce the Cleric castle to a pile of rubble. You should talk to Thialk about our defenses. There's still a long way to go before we're properly prepared.
DNA fragments from thermoactive skyanids. Am I supposed to know what any of that means?
Yes, I know it sounds complicated. But it's really rather simple. It's all about the cell's DNA replication. How actively and stably the cells of the infected subjects transform. The best data I can use is from subjects whose transformation was particularly quick and effective. When it comes to researching dark ELEX, that could save me a lot of time, and we have precious little to spare. Even things like pieces of skin, scales, or excrement might be enough if they come from highly thermoactive specimens.
I don't think you get much DNA in your excrement, but what do I know?
It will show you promising areas for the DNA fragments I need. Focus your search there.
What if I can't come to an agreement with Patriarch Victor?
Well, just do everything you can to make sure it doesn't come to that. Come back when you've collected your first DNA fragments. The sooner I can work on them, the faster my research will yield results.
Alright. I guess we should deal with Cleric situation first. This seems like the most urgent. I assume the Clerics are unaware that danger is coming because nobody seems to be mounting a defense. So am I just going to solve the problem and there will be none the wiser? Or do I warn you?
Let's talk later.
Nope. Any NPC here care about it? Nobody cares. I'm literally just gonna go out and bonk some robots, and that's gonna be the end of it. Alright, roboys. Out of control, combat robot. Oh shit, I blasted myself. Oh, the pain. Ow. Dude. They shoot so much, and it hurts. Oh god. Explosives are the only way through this. They're throwing grenades. Yeah, because their laser rifles, like, are almost hit-scan weapons with how quickly the shots move. Now something's spitting at me, for Christ's sake. Dude, get your gun back out! Alright, I don't... Oh god. Okay, I can't do magic in midair. This hurts so much. Now this is working. God, why are robots so the hardest enemy in the game? Because of their damn guns. They're the only enemy that seems to use laser weapons. Which are the only weapons that pose any kind of threat. And there's so many! God. At least there's only 2 drones, because they're the worst. Oh god. I'm stuck. I keep pressing 6, because that's where my shotgun used to be, but now that's where my magic attack is. Ow! Christ almighty! It hurts so bad. I can barely hit him. Christ. This is insanity. Thank God for all these potions I found. I might finally run out of them. Dude. Oh my god. Please, pull out the shotgun. Fuck's sake, this is crazy. Well, how am I guess ELEX machines. I was wondering how I was absorbing it from them. So there should be 2 of yous guys left. Wow, that's a terrible. What? I can't hit him. He's too close and I can't hit him. Well, that's just dumb. And magic attacks suck. Oh, there's my chain lightning. It definitely does not replace melee attacks the way I thought it would, but it also is just terrible.
I need to talk to Crony U4. He's more wired into these things than I am.
Is that a pun?
Commander, additional location of Skyan control node chips detected.
Great. That's just what I wanted to hear. Where are they this time?
Ignadon.
I still don't get it. Why would such an advanced race be so interested in old-world tech?
Additional scan recommended.
You always gotta make it sound easy, huh?
Recommendation for scan based on inadequacy of current information. Collection of further information likely to increase probability of accurate answer to query.
That's what I'm saying. I need your help with a couple of crazy robots.
Analyzing. Radio transmissions from mechanical cleric units demonstrate severe abnormalities.
We aren't even near them.
Yeah, I got that. You've also analyzed their malfunctions. What about them?
Insufficient information. Data exchange with Central Cleric Console required.
Central Cleric Council? You're talking about the old
Council
machine on board the rocket. Callahan.
He called it Callahan too! Why am I farting? What are you saying?
Repeat.
Shit! My head! Ugh. Well then.
What the hell was that?
Looks like I'll have to pair you with
You just got over that.
God. Somehow.
Acknowledged.
I'll take you to him. I'm interested to see what that box is spitting out now anyway.
We never talked to it in the first place. It was just a robot.
Sensor activity suggests companion Fox has been captured by Fort Berserkers.
Oh, that's an interesting development.
What? How could that happen?
Fox separated from Troop. Fox was alone.
Well, that couldn't have gone any worse. He couldn't even carry out his plan to be rehabilitated at the fort before they got him.
Recommendation. Immediate full-spectrum scan of Fort.
Yeah, little guy. I'm worried about him too. Hope we make it in time.
Acknowledged.
Well. Things are getting weird. I think we will visit that tomorrow. I'm going to wrap it up here for now. The Fox thing sounds a little more urgent. I know that none of them are actually time sensitive, but we're going to pretend to follow the degrees of urgency with these quests. So we're going to... Tomorrow evening, we're going to try and bail out Fox, whatever trouble he's gotten himself into. Then sort out this cleric mess. Then do the bit with Victor or whoever. And probably carry on more of the other quests that we got going on. Just to keep up the tempo. So, let's see what this game has in store in the main plot starting tomorrow. So, Monday and Friday streams will happen at the same time that they usually do, although I think sometimes they're starting at 5, sometimes they're starting at 6. They will be 6 o'clock p.m. from now on. And this whole week I'm on vacation. I haven't decided on when I'm going to do some bonus streams. Probably nothing for ELEX. Maybe one for Elden Ring. And I owe somebody a stream of something else too. I will decide when those are going to go out and mention that on Twitter and Discord. So look forward to that if you wish. Till then, see you tomorrow. Have yourselves a wonderful night. Stay safe, stay healthy, and goodbye. Not that.